Contentment is something that I have learned through life, learning how to be content and balancing out with ambition. Understanding that contentment is zeroing in, focusing on one's own lane without looking at what everybody else is doing, and at the same time still maintaining a healthy sense of ambition that does not come from competing with everybody. I'm ambitious because that is my desire for myself. I want to grow. I want to seek better, but it's not because somebody else is doing X, Y, and Z, and that's the reason why I want to do it. And that is the difference between a healthy ambition and having contentment. It's so important. Why? Because we are now living in a time where everybody's achievement is almost in your face. You're not asking for it. It's just right there. You pick up your phone and somebody's celebrating something they've done. They've gotten a PhD, they've gotten a master's, they've bought a car, they've bought a house, they're getting married, they got a child, they're doing this, they have this investment. It's all in our faces. So much so that it becomes so tricky for everybody, even the most level-headed person, to just sit down and not be influenced by what is happening in the world around them. It takes skill, it takes humility, it takes groundedness to identify your path and stick to it. And what has worked for me is me just learning to accept or to know that my path is different. And understand that I can try to get something that my sister, I'm talking about my biological sister, has, and I will not do as good in it because she is graced in a way for that thing that I'm not. And so instead of trying to be or do what my sister is doing, how about I figure out what is it that I can do? Not in a place of pressure like, oh, my sister has gotten this and done this, I need to do the same. But understanding that my timing, my path, my lens, everything is different. And so I want to be able to encourage every young person going through that contentment. Oh, it goes a long way. The ability to be content. I remember when I bought my first car. My very first car was a Pontiac 2006. It was a red 2-door car. And that car, it was like I was riding the latest exotic luxury car in the world, because what it took for me to get that car meant everything to me. You could have put me and that car in the same pedestal as you would put a Lamborghini or any other car of, high value as you would think. But to me, that 2006 Pontiac car was everything because of the path that I knew I took to get the car. I loved that car with that same intensity. I admired that car. Maybe to another person would have looked like an ordinary or whatever. It didn't matter to me because I was well aware of my path. And that is contentment. Looking at your house and knowing that your house is not the biggest house in the world. It's not even the most beautiful house in the world. It is not the most lavish house in the world, but it is yours. And it is where you call home, and you're content. Your desire for it to be better or bigger is not because you've seen another person down the street with something that is that way, or that you're coveting that thing for yourself, but just because you feel like you will feel much more comfortable with bigger space. Are there times with this contentment where you slip off? Yes. Are there times where I slip off? Of course. I'm going to be the first to admit that to you. But every time it will feel like pressure. It will feel unnatural. It will feel like somebody is lighting fire under your bum to go at a speed that is not naturally yours. And your God-given compass, it will say, wait, this is not the pathway for you. You're imposing a pressure that is not natural on yourself. So stop. Some people listen to that God-given compass and some other people don't. I've trained myself to be able to notice, oh no, I'm doing this and this is not natural. I'm recording these videos in this style because somebody else has done that. Oh no, I need to pause because my creativity must thrive in my genuine original idea, not because I'm trying to copy what somebody else is doing. My inner compass will tell me. Your inner compass will tell you. You just need to train yourself to be able to recognize when you're under pressure, so you can recalibrate and go right back to your lane, and go back to the place of contentment, and go back to the place of self-discovery, so that the idea that comes forth is one that is genuine, that is true, that is original, that is able to create the impact, because you're not just trying to do what somebody else is doing. You're trying to do what you are graced to do. The journey of contentment has been one which, even though I do realize some falls, God has helped me teach me my compass that recalibrates me every time and puts me back in the space of focus. Contentment is a beautiful thing to have. It's something that in our generation, the younger generation especially, you need to have. You need to be able to look by and be like, I'm not going to put my hand into something that would eventually land me into repercussions or land me into consequences with the law because I've seen somebody else do it. Do you know how many people have found themselves in societies that they should not be in because of greed? Do you know the number of people that are indebted? They are in so much debt today because they did not master contentment and they were led astray by the greed for more. Do you know the number of people that have ended up in relationships they had no business being in, but they thought it was a power move? They thought it was a move that was going to launch their status or was going to improve the perception of themselves in the society, and they were not content with where they were. Do you know the number of people that have ended their lives because they put their hand into things they should not have just because they were trying to live up to another person's standard? Contentment saves lives. Contentment brings peace. Contentment gives you the ability to own your own life. No matter what it is, you need to shut down any door. You need to close any door that is open that introduces you to a lifestyle of greed. It doesn't always come knocking on the door like, hi, this is greed, knocking, open. It comes in the form of other people constantly trying to show you that you're not where you should be. Shut that door. It comes in the form of you ingesting information from other people that shows you that you're not where you're supposed to be. Shut that door. You need to zero in on yourself, on your lane, focused, content but ambitious, moving steadily, seeking better but not under pressure. If you are under pressure, let it not be because of greed, because of jealousy, because of envy, because you're striving to be like somebody you think in your mind you should have been better. Why you're thinking that way, you alone know. But that is a mindset that you need to correct, because your lane is yours and yours uniquely. Find your lane, stick to it, seek better. You're going to grow, you're going to be content, and it will bring you the most peace than you ever imagined.